Hello everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to BYJU'S exam prep. Welcome to this part 15 of 500 most expected questions for CAT DILR. So once again we are here with some good sets for CAT. We'll be discussing them. But before I start, can you all just confirm it once to me? Is all okay? Yes, can you all hear me? Can you all see me properly? I hope everything is fine. Then we'll start with our class. So once again, I'll be discussing two sets with you. I mean, either they have appeared in CAT or they are almost of the same, I mean, difficulty level, or you can say of the same concept, which can be asked in CAT. That's what we are going to discuss in our today's class. So I hope all is fine. We can start with the class now. So here is the first data. So please read it. After that, we'll be talking about it. एक बार आप सब लोग पढ़ लीजिए, फिर इसके बारे में बात करना शुरू करते हैं. Here is the first set that you are having. Hello Arjun, good afternoon. So please read it first and then we'll start talking about this. Very good afternoon once again to all of you. A, B, C, D, E, F are six students in an academy. In training, they consumed four types of energy drinks named Gatorade, Monster, Zynga, and Red Bull. The energy drinks provide 20, 10, 10, and 20 energy points. The table given below shows the number of different energy drinks consumed by them on a particular day. After consuming the energy drinks, they divided themselves into two groups having three students each and played tug of war, in which the group having higher sum of energy points, they won. This is the only data that we have till now. So let's start solving it now. So I have put up this table on the next page as well. He has told us the number of energy points by these four drinks. So 20 energy points are here, 10 energy points from this, 10 energy points from this, and 20 energy points from this. So what are the total energy points of A? Can I set is 20 into 0 plus 10 into 0 plus 10 into 2 plus 20 into 1? That comes out to be 40. The total energy points of A are 40. What are the total energy points of B? अब B की बात करते हैं. It is 20 into 2, 40 plus 0 plus 10, that is 50 plus 0, it is equal to 50. Total energy points of C, they are 20 into 0 plus 10 into 2, that is 20, 20 plus 10, that is 30 plus 0. So the total score of C is 30. Then for D, it is 20 into 1 plus 10 into 2, which is equal to 40. For E, it is 20 into 0 plus 10 into 1 plus 20 into 2, which again becomes 50. And for F, it is 20 into 1 plus 20 into 2, which is equal to 60. So the energy points of A, B, C, D, E, F are basically calculated by the number of drinks taken by them multiplied by the energy points of that particular drink, and we just added all of them. That gave us the total number of energy points for all of these people. I hope it is clear to everyone, right? This point must be clear to all. Now the point is, the question said that they played a game of tug of war, which is given on the previous page. After consuming the energy drinks, they divided themselves into two groups having three students each, and in which the group having higher sum of energy points won. So I have to divide these six students into two groups of three students each. और उन दोनों ग्रुप में से जिसके भी टोटल एनर्जी पॉइंट ज्यादा होंगे, दैट ग्रुप इज गोइंग टू विन द गेम ऑफ टग ऑफ वॉर. दैट्स व्हाट द क्वेश्चन इज सेइंग. So if I talk about a group which is having a higher point than the other, I'll first have to see what are the total points of all these students. The total points of all these students are 40 plus 50, 90 plus 30, 120 plus 40, 160 plus 52, 10 plus 60 is 270, right? So a team which is the winner must be having more than half of 270, which is more than 135. So one team will have a score of more than 135. The other team will have a score of less than 135. Only then I will have a winner and a loser. I hope you are getting my point. टोटल पॉइंट्स अगर 270 हैं और आपको इसके दो ग्रुप बनाने हैं, वन ग्रुप शुड हैव द हायर स्कोर देन द अदर ग्रुप, तो एक का स्कोर हाफ से ज्यादा होगा, एक का स्कोर हाफ से कम होगा. सो वन टीम विल हैव अ स्कोर ऑफ मोर देन 135 एंड वन टीम विल हैव अ स्कोर ऑफ लेस देन 135. विनर विल हैव मोर देन 135 स्ट्रेट अप. सो इन हाउ मेनी वेज यू कैन चूज द विनर? तो सबसे पहले मैं विनर के बारे में बात करता हूं. विनर कौन कौन हो सकते हैं, पॉइंट्स की टर्म्स में लिख लेते हैं पहले, एंड देन विल टॉक अबाउट द नेम ऑफ द टीम्स एज वेल और नेम ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स एज वेल. See, in terms of points, the highest 3 points can be 60, 50, and 50, right? 60 plus 50 plus 50 gives me 160, which is more than 135. Or I can take 60 plus 50 plus 40 as well. I mean, if I am taking 60 with me, with 60, I can take 50 and 50. I can take 50 and 40, that is giving me the total sum as 150. I can also take 60 के साथ 40 and 40. 60, 40, 40 is also giving me 140, and I can also take 60, 50 and 30, right? These are the four ways in which I can take 60 along with other 2 points such that the total of all these points becomes more than 135. So 60, 50, 50 becomes 160, 60, 50, 40 becomes 150, 60, 40, 40 becomes 140, and 60, 50, 30 becomes 140 again. I don't think there is any other combination that is going to give me a total of more than 135. 60, 40, 30 अगर लेता हूं तो वो 130 बन जाएगा. I'm looking for more than 135, वो नहीं हो पाएगा. So with 60, these are the only four possibilities. If 60 is not there, तो 50 सबसे बड़ा होगा. So one possibility is I take 50, 50 and 40. That's one possibility. And I think this is the only possibility. There is no other case with 50 such that I can have a total of more than 135. So these are the only 5 cases which are possible. लेकिन इसमें जो टीम मेंबर्स होंगे दे कैन बी चोजन इन मल्टीपल वेज. जैसे व्हेन आई से 60 50 50, 60 50 50 is possible in only one way because 60 is there with F, 50 is there with B and E only, so FBE is the only possibility according to that. But when I talk about 60 50 40, so with F, the guy with 50 score, it can be E or B. So you can have E here, you can have B here, but 40 is there with either A or D. So can I say I can make 4 teams with this case? I can make 4 teams with this case. Kaise? It can be FEA, it can be FED, it can be FBA, it can be FBD. So that ways 4 ways are there in which I can make it. 60 40 40 is possible in again in only one way, that is F and D and A. 60 50 30 is again possible in 2 ways. What are those 2 ways in which 60 40 this is possible? 60 50 30. 60 is definitely with F, 30 is definitely with C, but 50 it can be with B or E. So once again there are 2 possibilities with this. It can be with B or E. And lastly, when I say 50 50 40, 50 and 50 are definitely B and E. 50 and 50 are definitely B and E. Apart from B and E, I can have 40 with either A or D. So ultimately 2 cases are here, 2 cases are here, 4 cases are here, that makes it 8, 1 case here and 1 case here. These are the 10 ways in which I can choose a team which is a winner, right? The team which is having a higher score than the other team. This initial hard work was needed because I know that whatever is he going to ask you, he's going to ask you only on this, right? There is no other data given to us. A table is given to us, and after that he gave us these points of 10, 20, 10, 10 and 20, and then we just had to figure out 3 people whose total is more than the total of the other 3 people, and that's how we have done it, and we have made a total of 10 cases. So this initial hard work is actually going to give us a very good result in the upcoming questions, because as I said that all the data has been used, it is going to yield a good result for us in the upcoming questions just on the basis of the data which is given to us. Now we don't need this table any longer, right? Only on the basis of these cases we can answer the question. So I've already put up these cases in the form of a table on each of the pages where the questions would be presented to you. So look at this first case. So here I have written the name of the winners, and of course the other three people, you can also call them losers. They are written over here. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A total of 10 teams are represented here. First question, what is the probability that the winning team includes F? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of 10 cases, in 8 cases, the winning team includes F. So my answer is option D, which is 0.8. So the probability that the winning team includes F is equal to 0.8. That is the first question. I'm sure you all understood this first question. Let's move on to the second one now. What does it say? What is the probability that the winning team includes both D and E? So both D and E are here. Both D and E are here as well. They are on only two cases out of 10. So two cases out of 10, the probability is 0.2. So for the second question, our answer is option B. The probability is 0.2 because out of total 10 cases, just two cases are there which have both D and E. Let's come to question number 3 now. If D is a member of the winning team, in how many ways can the other two members of the winning team be selected? D must be a member. So it is, in this case, I have D as a member. In this case as well, we have D as a member. Here too, and here as well. So there are a total of 4 cases in which D is a member of the winning team. So the other two members, of course, can be chosen in 4 ways. They can be F and E according to the first case, F and B according to the second case, F and A in third, and B and E in the fourth case. So a total of 4 ways are there in which the other two members of the team can be selected. My answer for this question is 4. And lastly, the question number 4 says, if A and C are the members of the winning team, in how many ways can the third member of the winning team be selected? A and C are definitely in the winning team. So if A and C are in the winning team, which case is there? No, I don't see any case in which A and C are members of the winning team. That means the third member can be chosen in 0 ways because it is not possible to have A and C in the winning team. These were the 4 questions on this first set. I'm sure you all have understood. If there is any doubt, any question that anyone is having, please tell me. Anything where you feel that you have a problem, right? Do let me know. We can discuss about that. But these are the first 4 questions, right? Where we had to do a little bit of grouping, you can say, or selection also can be called this. So we needed 4 people to find out who are the winners of the team. This brings us to set number 2. Here is the data for that set, and there is some more information. So please read it first and then I'll move ahead from here. Read the data of the second set first. I'm sure you all have read it now. An intelligence quotient test by an institute was conducted in a week from Monday to Saturday. The institute offers 3 different tests named test A, B, and C, having time durations 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and 10 minutes, respectively. Each student appears for only one test out of these 3 tests. The institute has 3 examination rooms numbered 1, 2, and 3, and each room can accommodate 10 students. So some of the data you have to just keep in mind, or you can also take a screenshot of this because I would not be able to put all the data on the upcoming pages. So it says that test A is of 20 minutes, test B is of 15 minutes, test C is of 10 minutes. Each student appears for only one test and each room can accommodate 10 students. These are the three informations which will be needed later on as well. Then there is more data. The tests were conducted in the three rooms on the 6 days of the week, Monday to Saturday, as shown in the table below. So this table is telling us that on which all days what test was conducted in which room number. So in room number 1 we had test A on Monday and Thursday. In room number 2 we had test B. In room number 3 we had test 3 on these 2 days. On Tuesday and Friday we had C, A and B in these three rooms, and similarly on Wednesday and Saturday we had B, C and A in these three rooms. The test start from 10 a.m. The center closes at 3 p.m. every day. That means we have these rooms available for a total of 5 hours each day, because the test starts at 10, closes at 3, so total 5 hours are there. As soon as one test examination is over, the next test exam starts after a gap of 5 minutes, which is another important info, that the second test starts after a gap of 5 minutes from the first test. All the students are given unique roll numbers starting from 1. When students arrive for the test, they are accommodated in room number 2 only if room number 1 is full. Similarly, the students are accommodated in room number 3 if both rooms and 1 and 2 are full. Thus, the students are accommodated in examination 1, 2, 3 in that preference order. That means a student will be accommodated in room number 1, right, if it is available. But if room number 1 is not available, they would be accommodated in room number 2. Even if that is not available, then they would be put into room number 3. So that's how they are going to do. The preference would be given to room number 1, then room number 2, then room number 3, and whichever test is going on in that room, they will have to write that test only, because it is clearly mentioned that every student writes only one test. Okay. This is all the information, and after that we have some of the questions. Here is the first question. How many students can appear for tests in one day? See, about test A, he says the test is of 20 minutes, but after every test there is a gap of 5 minutes. For test B, the test is of 15 minutes, but after every test there is a gap of 5 minutes. And for test C, the test is of 10 minutes, and after every test there is a gap of 15 minutes. So basically you can say in every 25 minutes, one test A is conducted. In every 20 minutes, one test B is conducted, and every 15 minutes, one test C is conducted. On every single day, every test is being conducted in a particular room. That room is available for 5 hours. So that means we have 300 minutes available for test A, 300 minutes available for test B, and 300 minutes available for test C on any given day. 300 minutes for all the three tests are available. So how many students can write test A? How many students can write test B? How many students can write test C? So test A is written by 300 divided by 25. That means it is written by 12 groups of students in a day. One group is of 10 students. At one time, 10 students are sitting in a room. It was already given. So 12 groups of 10 students can appear for test A in a day. Now you might say, sir, why do we consider the last 5 minutes? Actually, the test would be conducted in 295 minutes. That's correct. Because the last 5 minutes gap is not needed. But when the last test is conducted at the end of 295 minutes, after that there is a gap of 5 minutes, and after that there is no time left. So ultimately there would be only 12 groups which are there. So even if it was 295 minutes, there would have been 12 groups. Even if it is 300, there would be 12 groups. When I talk about test B is conducted again for 300 minutes. Each test takes 20 minutes. So once again, 15 groups of students would be able to write it. And when I talk about test C, once again 300 minutes divided by 15 says 20 groups of students would be writing it. So in a day, a total of 47 groups of students can write the exam. And one group is consisted of 10 students. So 47 groups are consisted of 470 students. So the right answer for this question is option D, that is 470. So how many students can appear for the tests in one day? The correct answer for this question is 470. I'm sure you all have understood. We just saw the total time taken to conduct a test, the total time available for a particular room, and then we divided them to get the number of groups which can write that exam. which gave us the answer as 470. I hope it is understood to all of you. I'll move ahead now to question number 6 on your screen. For how many minutes in a day no test is going on in any of the rooms? For how many minutes of a day no test is going on in any of the three rooms? That means there is a time period when all three rooms will be free. No test is going on in any of the three rooms. That's what the question is asking us. Okay. See, we know that test A is going to be conducted for 20 minutes. After that, there is a gap of 5 minutes. Test B is going to be conducted for 20 minutes, sorry, 15 minutes, after which there is a gap of 5 minutes. And similarly for C, it is conducted for 10 plus 5. Now, when I talk about A and B, the LCM of A and B, that is 25 and 20, is 100. So whatever happens in first 100 minutes, the same thing would happen in the next 100 minutes, and the same thing would happen in the next 100 minutes. So every 100 minutes, the things are going to repeat. So in the first 100 minutes, what's going to happen? Let's have a look at this. Now, test A, it would be conducted from first minute to 20th minute, but after that, 20 to 25, there is no test. Similarly, the next 20 minutes, there is a test, then 45 to 50, there is no test. Similarly, the next 20 minutes there is a test, then 70 to 75 there is no test, and finally 95 to 100 there is no test. These are the four durations of 5 minutes in which there is no test of test A in the first 100 minutes. Similarly, when I talk about B, B has no test from 15 to 20 because first test is for 15 minutes, after which there is a gap of 5 minutes. Then there is no test from 35 to 40. Then there is no test from 55 to 60. Then there is no test from 75 to 80. And finally, there is no test from 95 to 100. Now, when I talk about C, let's talk about B and C now. What is the common multiple of 20 and 15? It is 60. So whatever is going to happen in first 60 minutes, after that the things would start repeating. So for B and C, I'll check only for first 60 minutes. Let's talk about C first. C will be have the first test would be up to 10. After that, there is no test from 10 to 15. Then there is no test from 25 to 30. Then there is no test from 40 to 45. And then there is no test from 55 to 60. So if I talk about A and B, there is no test for A and B in the first 100 minutes from 95 minutes to 100 minutes. So 95 to 100, there is no test of A and B. So next 100 minutes, 195 to 200 would be no test of A and B. Next 100 minutes, 295 to 300, there is no test of A and B. So these are the timings when neither A is having a test nor B is having a test. That means A and B, they both are absolutely free. There is no test going on between them. But when I talk about B and C, in the first 60 minutes, I see 55 to 60 is the duration for which there is no test going on. So in the first 60 minutes, it is 55 to 60. In the next 60 minutes, it is 115 to 120. In the next 60 minutes, it will be 175 to 180. In the next 60 minutes, it will be 235 to 240. And in the next 60 minutes, it will be 295 to 300. So basically, 5 minutes before every multiple of 60, right? Similarly here, 5 minutes before every multiple of 100. So now, what is the time duration when there is no test going on for test A and B and there is no test going on for B and C as well? I see one area common, that is 295 to 300, and this is the only area common. That means 295 to 300 is the only gap of 5 minutes in which there is no test going on for test A, there is no test going on for test B, and there is no test going on for test C. So therefore, these are the only 5 minutes for which there is no test going on in any of the three rooms. The correct answer for this question is option B now. Right? See, in these kind of questions, when you see that the data is not too much, of course, the only thing that he can do is he can make the questions difficult. So he would be giving you something in the question which will make it very cumbersome to calculate. It would look like a little, tricky, difficult to you. But once you start solving, you would understand that what do we have to do. Let's move ahead to question number 7 from here now. What does it say? What were the roll number of the students who were taking the test exactly at 10:57 a.m. on Friday? So first of all, he is talking about Friday. So on first 4 days, every day 470 people have appeared for the test, as we discussed in the very first question. So in these 4 days, a total of 1880 students must have appeared for the test. That means 1880 roll numbers would have appeared for the test in the first 4 days. Now he's talking about Friday. The Friday schedule is here in this column. On Friday, room 1 has test C, room 2 has test A, and room 3 has test B. Okay. So first of all, test C would be there from 10 to 10:10, after which there is a gap of 5 minutes. Then 10:15 to 10:25, after which there is a gap of 5 minutes. Then 10:30 to 10:40, after which there is a gap of 5 minutes. And then 10:45 to 10:55, after which there is a gap of 5 minutes. So at 10:57, test C is not going on. At 10:57, the test C is not going on. When I talk about test A would go on from 10 to 10:20, after which there is a gap of 5 minutes. Then 10:25 to 10:45, after which there is a gap of 5 minutes. And then 10:50 to 11:10, after which there is no test. Right? Sorry, I mean that means at 10:57, test A is going on. When I talk about test B, it starts at 10 and goes up to 10:15 because it is of 15 minutes. Then there is a gap of 5 minutes. Then it starts at 10:20, goes up to 10:35, after which there is a gap of 5 minutes. It starts at 10:40, goes up to 10:55, after which there is a gap of 5 minutes. So even this test is not going on. So the test that is going on at 10:57 is this test only. Now the question is asking you, what are the roll number of the students who are appearing for this test? Now 1880 students have already appeared in the first 4 days. On this fifth day, first of all, the next 10 students would go here, the next 10 would go here, the next 10 would go here, the next 10 would be appearing for this test, the next test would be appearing for this test because this would be available. The room, second number room is not available. Next test would go here. The next test 10 are going to be here, the next 10 are going to be here, the next 10 are going to be here because 10:45 से 10:55 का टेस्ट पहले होगा, 10:50 वाले बच्चे बाद में आएंगे. These 10 students who now got here, these are the people who are having their test in this time duration. तो ये कौन से 10 है? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. After these 1880 students, 9 more groups of 10 students each, that is 90 more students have appeared for the test, that is 1970. And after this 1970, the next 10 people, of course, there would be 1971 to 1980. These are the students who would be appearing for the test at 10:57 a.m. on Friday. So my answer for this question is option A. 1880 have already appeared in the first 4 days. Then before this slot of 10:50 to 11:10 starts, there have already been a total of 9 more slots of 90 students. That makes the total number of students is 1970 plus then I get 10 more students which are appearing for this test now in this final slot. So this gives us the answer as 1971 to 1980. I'm sure it is understood. And that brings us to last question once again. What does it say? At what time students with roll number 501 to 510 were giving their test? See, on Monday we know that 470 students would have appeared for the test. So on Tuesday, the fourth slot students would be appearing for this test. The fourth slot. Now on Tuesday, which schedule is going on? This schedule. So first of all, the first 10 students would appear for the test at 10 to 10:10. The next 10 would appear for 10 to 10:20, that is room number 2. The next 10 would appear from 10 to 10:15, that is in room 3. And the next 10 would appear from 10:15 to 10:25. This is the fourth slot of students who would be appearing for this test, right? So the correct answer for this question is option A. 10:15 to 10:25 is the slot in which these students would be appearing. The correct answer is option A for question number 8. And that was the last question of this last set. I'm sure you have understood. Probably there were two questions which were not doable in this set, but two questions were very easy, straightforward. We should have done them. And that's all about today, guys. Now, if any one of you is appearing for CMAT this year, we have started a CMAT specialized course in which you will be getting 20 plus CMAT live lectures, 50 plus engaging videos, 5 CMAT mocks, 10,000 plus practice questions, and 10 sectional tests as well. That is a lot to discuss for even during the exam. So I'm sure this can help you a lot in your exam preparation. And currently, you are getting all of this at a very nominal price of 3,400 rupees. So you just can get this program on our app. Also on this 21st of March, you have Vikrant sir who would be talking about CAT 2024 VARC, right? The game changer. On the BYJU'S exam prep app, it is going to be a live interactive workshop. Do not forget to join him on that day on 21st of March at 7 p.m. Also now you can get up to 90% scholarship on CAT preparation programs, right? On 24th of March, you have this scholarship test once again at 11 p.m. on the BYJU'S exam prep app. Register for it now and you can win these scholarships as well. I'm sure you all know about our CAT College Predictor tool. If you have not, you don't know about it, you'll find the link of this in the description of this video. Go to that, put in your profile. It will exactly tell you that which all IIMs are there in which you are eligible. And if you are eligible, at what percentile you may get a call from that particular college. Also, if you have any further questions, you can also fill up this form. Again, for the link of this form is given to you in the description. Fill this up and you can have a one-to-one counseling with us for any kind of questions that you might be having. You can also follow us on all these media handles. That's all from my side, guys. Thank you very much. I'm sure the session was useful for you. We'll meet again now in some other session. Till then, bye-bye and take care of yourself. Have a good day.